Hello and welcome to the 14th episode of Season 3 of Your Mom's Podcast, the only podcast that's worth walking out on a date with one of your process coolest girls. I'm Caroline.
And I'm Avis.
And today we are joined once again by Chris Ruiz to discuss Degrassi Season 3, Episode 18, Rock and Roll High School. Hi, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Long time no see.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, been a few months, weeks.
I was gonna say it's genuinely been some time between us, Chris. I haven't seen you since we last recorded. But you know, you guys see each other bi-weekly?
Weekly, yeah.
Weekly.
Wait, no, what's the word for I think bi-weekly because it sounds like it should be. We're not going to do this with what my brain.
Twice a week.
Yeah, but that's just me thinking about like how much I'd like to get paid, but how much I actually get paid.
Oh, God,
this week on Your Mom's Podcast, Avis doesn't understand how calendars work.
I truly don't. Time is fake to me of all forms.
I have been wanting to tell you, Chris. I posted that that post with you and Toby and him calling you Clarice and you calling him a creepy fuck. I think I showed you the picture.
Yeah.
And one of our listeners, Iggy, commented, and it turns out we all heard it wrong. He's not calling her Clarice.
Yes.
He's calling her Therese.
Therese.
Mm.
Yeah, like
His
Terry.
name is Terry.
It's still fucking
weird.
creepy.
It's
yeah.
still right.
It's
That
so
was
weird and
when
creepy.
we read that comment, we're like, yeah, but that's still weird. It's not better.
Still weird.
Yeah, thanks,
But thank you,
yes.
Iggy. Thank you, Iggy, for paying the closest of attentions. I appreciate that. But it's so bad. Oh, Toby, the things they give you to work with.
I'm glad he wasn't in this episode.
Yeah, you
might have
gotta
noticed
completely.
that Terry wasn't either. Are you glad
Terry
about
was
that?
not. Terry was not here.
Yes, actually, yeah.
Oh, cool.
They
You want to
talked
know why
about
she wasn't
Terry.
here, Chris? She's in a fucking coma.
Except they.
You heard it here first, guys. Chris is really glad that Terry's in a coma.
Except that, you know what? She's probably going to wake up any day now, as they cheerfully insert after they were crying at her bedside. At the window of her bedside.
So since
The
we saw
previous
you
episode.
last, Terry started dating Rick, broke up with him because he was abusive, started hanging out with him again, and then promptly landed in a coma.
Yeah. It's typically
Well,
how it
she
goes.
landed on a cinder block, actually, Caroline. That's
Point
in
made.
poor taste, but it popped in my brain, and I had to say. But yes,
Chris,
it's bad.
You got anything new you want to hype? I know you guys put out a new song, right?
Yeah, so
Ooh.
my band, A Sunday Fire, just released a new single called The Haunted. And by all metrics, it's our best performing first week single that we've ever done. And
The Haunted is totally the name of the song Craig Manning wrote, right? But okay.
Oh God, right. Don't listen to it now. Thanks.
That is second album Craig Manning stuff.
Shots fired.
We also will be heading out on tour next month.
Oh, that's exciting.
So we'll be posting all that to the social. So if you're interested in the song or seeing me in person, you can. The Sunday Fire is literally on every single social media outlet available. So, yeah.
As someone who sees Chris in person at least once a week, highly recommend.
Yes, we'll have it linked in the show notes. We'll have the Spotify again for Sunday Fire, and we'll put the various linkages for the internet and webs and such and things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You don't like weed.
Are you trying to convince?
Chauncey's like, oh, what's this with my back and bowl?
My
And I'm like, bruh.
My cat used to love weed. My cat used to love weed. She used to stand by and like at my door and like wait for her blow in her direction. I'm like, no, I'm not giving you kitty asthma or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm not doing that.
I had a cat that was mostly outdoor when I was in high school that like would come running whenever I went outside to get high.
Oh,
I'm like, all right, here we go.
Saw the signs and, you know, saw the signs and followed. You gotta respect that.
You wanna bring us in, hit us with this poem, Chris?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Start talking about rock and roll high school.
Absolutely. Roses are red. Bands will play. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay?
God,
I love
how many
that.
times does he have to say it?
I love that so much though. Until you mean it.
Did you want to do the synopsis too, or you want me to handle that, Chris?
I'll do the synopsis.
Okay.
All right. Ashley is still reeling from Craig's betrayal. Luckily, Degrassi has provided a perfect outlet for her rage in the form of a battle of the bands, complete with the first prize of studio time, which is a totally normal thing for a public school in the throes of a budget crisis to do. In the news that shocks nobody, my problematic favorite, Craig Manning, also has his eyes on the prize. Can he break his crippling writer's block in time for the big show? Over in the land of stories we should have let die in 1992, Caitlin pretends to be grown up.
Preach on the part about we should have let die in 1992 because this show keeps trying to pepper in B plots for these people and I don't care.
I can't wait till Kevin Smith finally comes in
and then shuts it down. Oh, sweet relief. It cannot come soon.
Jane's not about it's time to go Canadian, eh?
So I will say, watching this episode compared to the last episode, I know I missed a few in between. This could be a totally different TV show, and I would believe you.
Yeah.
You're like completely different vibe, completely different level of acting,
even
completely
like
different
characters.
Yeah, just completely like you didn't see a lot of the repeat character. I mean, you saw Ellie, but she's like not doing this.
It's like they showed up. It's like they showed up and we're like, all right, who's here today? Fuck it, we're doing it.
I just want to say, I know we're nowhere near the fashion corner, and hair isn't fashion, but it fits. But I watched Napoleon Dynamite with my husband the other night, and so now every time I look at Ellie with her fucking side ponies, you think,
oh my gosh, but iconic.
Yeah,
she's such. I love that movie. I love her ponytail. Yeah, Ellie is just not letting this side ponytail thing go. She twisted it in the back, and she's like, I'm wearing it until it gets like unimaginably greasy or whatever the fuck her hair. Like she's like, I'm wearing it till the wheels fall off. It's been like, this is the second episode now, girl. Right. Like, please.
No, it's whatever. We should talk about get the beef thought out of the way first, real quick. But I had to comment on the side pony because all I'm seeing
is Deb. Fair.
Well, so as you probably don't know, Chris, Joey and Caitlin have been will they, won't they since the fucking 80s.
Yeah, they really have.
The original Degrassi.
Oh, is that a throwback?
Joey is Craig's. Yeah, so Joey is Craig's stepdad who now has full custody of him because Craig is an orphan. Although he had custody before Craig was an orphan because Craig's dad beats him.
Yeah, a lot of things are checking the box right now. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Joey and Caitlin are both from the original Degrassi Junior High and then Degrassi High. Wouldn't they for a while? Then in like the wrap up movie, they're engaged, but then Joey fucks Tessa Campanelli. It's a big deal because that movie was the first time fuck was said on Canadian public television.
Even though that wasn't the line, Snake's line was.
Yeah, you've been fucking
Tessa Campanelli.
But now they're back together again, and it is a hot mess, as you saw.
So bad.
So bad. I don't think it needs really to be talked about. Joey throws out his back. Caitlin tries to be a grown up.
Joey not his sister?
Oh,
wait, no. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, the girl with Joey in this episode is not sister.
The bald head guy.
The little girl.
The bald guy.
The bald guy.
The bald guy is Joey.
Yeah, and
Caitlin is his girl.
The blonde-haired girl?
Oh, I thought that was his sister.
No, that's his like high school sweetheart.
Oh, okay. That changes a few things
You
about my
are
synopsis.
sensing zero sexual tension between these two, which thank you.
All right.
Love it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. That
They're
sounds
like
right.
watching paint
I was
dry.
very confused because I was like, okay, cool. His sister's helping him.
And she's overcome her irresponsible, flighty ways.
And they're lovers. The worst lovers. They should break up, honestly. I hope they break up in the future.
They do. Kevin Smith comes in.
And
like,
they have
Kevin
way more
Smith
sexual
comes in and kisses
compatibility.
Caitlin, and that's it. They're done.
They
Good.
are way hotter than Joey and Caitlin ever
Good.
will be, or
Good,
could ever
because
hope to be.
They have brother and sister vibes.
Damn.
But like brother and sister vibes to have like possibly kiss just to see.
Is it like I'm stuck in
Ew.
the washing machine, help me, brother vibes, or just
No, it's not that. It's not that sexy.
So done. You said it's not that sexy. You're like, I wouldn't give it that much.
This is more like homeschool sibling sexy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like there are no other options.
Yes, yeah.
Can't
See?
with you, Chris. Can't with you.
But I love that.
Okay.
But it's funny because I'm just glad that you picked up on the fact that they're just not they just don't work. Like they're just not interesting to watch together.
No,
they were more interesting when they were younger, but even then they didn't have anything that made there were other compelling
Yeah, that was a B plot. Yeah. I mean
They should have just it's a bad B plot. It
is.
My notes include just my B plot notes. In fact, I'll read them for you. Are yay, Caitlin's here. Next one is good morning, breakfast calling. Please leave your bacon after the tone. Joey, stop.
What?
And my
It's like Canadian thing?
He's taking the kooky dad thing to like a max. It's maxed out.
My third and final note for the B plot is Angie rocking that tri-pony. What is it with Canada and the fucking
tri-pony? You've hated the tri-pony since season 1.
It's dumb.
You're like, what is this? What is this?
You know, a lot of those early...
Chris, you should rock that.
No.
The tri-pony.
A lot of those early to mid-90s like cartoon characters, if you like go back and look, a lot of them had the tri-pony on them. And it's because a lot of artists were coming from the Glasky Kazupo School of Art.
Oh,
Yeah. And a lot of Canadians.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of our early days of art was influenced by Canadian.
A lot of Nickelodeon.
Canadian thing?
Yeah.
A lot of Nickelodeon is very Canadian, especially the early days when they didn't have the money to produce their own shit. They just bought Canadian stuff.
Yeah.
But also, it's a tri-pony. There's nothing to be for. What do we bring to the tape?
Oh, yeah.
More than 2 ponytails.
I hate that bitch. Oh, I hate that bitch in this episode.
The little girl?
Yeah.
That is the one thing, because I actually made a post a couple of weeks ago. I say that Caitlin didn't have a backbone, essentially. And I feel like I have to kind of eat my words here because she kind of puts her foot down at the first hint of impropriety. The fight for me was the bye, and she was like, "Oh hell no, where are you going,
Missy?
Wash those hands, March."
Because I love that you won't hesitate to call a small child a bitch.
But no, but
you gotta call it what it is.
You got call a spade because she was truly coming. Like, I think that it's. I mean, any kid is gonna be like, "Oh, how far can I get?" Like this woman is gonna do whatever I want her to do. She's bending over backwards, dropping ducats on me, trying to bang my dad. She wants to keep me happy. I'm going outside. I would have fought her. We would have been.
You can bring my dinner outside and hand
right.
My hands are gonna be muddy.
And I probably will ask you to make something else because I don't like this, and you will. Like, it's the energy is so it's giving bitch. It is giving bitch.
It says she wasn't even acting. That's just who she is.
Oh, this is the most convincing acting I've seen from this young woman. We haven't seen her in a couple episodes. Have we seen her this season?
Like no. So we don't see a lot of acting from Angie. I will throw back to, though, I maintain her face journey when she finds out that a dinosaur is hurting Craig.
Oh yeah, that
is really good.
Her face,
that's the best acting we've seen out of Angie. Is that like minute or second and a half?
But I'm very convinced by this. I'm very convinced. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a wrapped up.
So Craig is Angie's half brother. Their mom is dead. Joey is Angie's dad. When we first meet Craig, it's the beginning of season 2, and his dad beats him. And he's also a little, he's got some mental health problems that may or may not get disclosed next season.
Right, we've got to wait for that.
And so he's like kind of like seeing Angie on the sly because his dad doesn't want him to hang out with Angie, Joey, and all of that. And they're playing dinosaur, and his shirt rides up, and she sees a bruise that he has. And she's like, what happened? And he tells him that there's a dinosaur that hurts him.
What compelling storytelling? That's true.
Yes. Well,
you asked.
Yeah, okay. That is some of the, like, actually, there's a poll going right now of what is the best season opener. And When Doves Cry is leading the pack. Okay. That is the season opener that we're referring to. That is the episode we're referring to. It carried that season, in my opinion. Those end cap episodes are very important.
I just want to say, like, if you this is a wild B plot to throw into a show, because like this requires like some deep knowledge of the lore of not even this show, and harking back to another show that you would have to watch to understand this B plot.
Well, okay, no, because
they
at this
set
point,
it.
Joey and Caitlin have been built up like within
the next generation.
It was like
we got information about them, like, you know, in the beginning, in the pilot, to let us know. Yeah, just in case you're like, oh, you didn't want to watch the 80s series, you don't have to, really, but you can. It's more like an enhancer.
Like I said, it still feels like they just kind of show up to film, and whoever's there is what they're going with for the day.
I think some of that might be possible.
And I think some of that interpretation is going to be colored by watching standalone episodes.
Right. The two-parters help it feel more like a world, I will say. I feel like the 22-minute format is okay, or 22 to 24, but it just definitely leaves a lot to be desired with the pacing and everything. When they kick it out, you know, if you care to come back in the later seasons where they start doing hour-long episodes of mostly every episode, then you get more.
Oh man, but there's so many bands once we get to the boiling point.
They just run out of time. They have so much time that they're like, let's just give everybody a band. Fuck it. And then let's do a large scale battle of the bands. And then do band drama.
So that makes a lot of sense.
So much time.
Because this was like
so much time.
This was like when Avril Lavigne was huge.
Yeah, this is still 2004-ish.
Yeah, so you would have had Avril Lavigne, Sum 41, Nickelback, and I know I'm missing a couple, but you basically have like 3 of the largest musical exports ever from Canada. So man, they were playing into that shit like hardcore. Like,
Paige just suddenly transformed into a rocker chick for this specific episode. Yeah. The way she's wearing her jeans like low, she doesn't typically. I mean, she does, but she doesn't. Like her whole Chuck vibe.
She looks out of place.
She looks a little bit in the pin straight hair. Like she's definitely going for that vibe of like. But I think she might be playing the guitar. I watched her fingers. I think Lauren might be playing the guitar. I don't know if Stacy's playing the guitar, but I think that Lauren is playing.
Actually, you know, I think everyone, to hit it quickly, I think everyone did a very good job of looking like they knew what they were doing.
Fair.
Yeah. They
Yes.
actually did, which would make sense because what I know about, like, I guess it's not Hollywood, but like actors and stuff, is that typically these people at a very young age are studying music, being very diversified. They're probably,
Right.
they're doing all the arts. Like, I
They've
wouldn't be
probably had
surprised.
voice lessons
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't be
some
surprised if like
sort
they were
of
like drawing too, just like everything.
right. You
And
want to be
so all these kids have probably picked up a guitar or a drum kit and like come in earnest trying to play music at some point.
right. I would
So
agree
it
with
looks pretty
that.
convincing.
Yeah. Well, we know Shane's a drummer.
Shane is definitely a drummer. Yes. In the boy band, he's the blonde-haired drummer. So he definitely drums. I do think that Drake plays the guitar badly.
I don't know if he did back then.
I don't know if he did back then either, but
I do know that he can play guitar and piano.
Right.
And Jake Epstein is a musician.
Jake Epstein is an actual musician. He still sings and stuff.
So is him singing?
Yes.
I
I don't
value of the song was like great.
Oh, they threw everything at the wall for these songs. First of all, when Ashley's like, gonna make the day you met me the day. Like
Ashley,
the fact that she's been sitting on that lyric.
That way. Everybody in your life feels that way.
Said even Kate feels that way. Your mom hates you, Ashley. No. I'm just
Ashley
she hasn't entered her villain era
Kate
yet,
took
though.
one look at her and said, "Well, I immediately regret this decision."
Oh my gosh. It's pretty good. The production value is good. I will say I don't know if it's I really would like to know if it's Melissa singing, because I know when Lauren Collins sang, that was not her.
I
back
think
in during that,
I could be wrong.
It's like they recorded the music first and then wrote a show around the songs. What it felt like, because like they really put everything they had to the songs.
They did, and the funny thing is, like, this is one of my notes. I mean, I guess I think we already hopped into the A plot, which I'm good with. This is Ashley's best song. I mean, I think I would maybe tie it with the song that she had in season 1. Do
you mean in season 2?
Or season 2, song? The Paige song.
I sent to Chris twice now, and he still hasn't watched. He was like,
"Oh,
I
shit.
love Paige," and I was like, "You have to watch this Paige moment."
My bad.
It's a lovely moment, but it is a great song. It's a great song.
You did watch this episode.
I don't know if it's her best song. I think this is her best song. Because it's actually like personally, emotionally charged. But this is not Craig's best song by far. Literally, that's the only reason, Chris. That's the only reason she was pissed the fuck off when she wrote this song.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at emotionally charged because it's.
I give it a lot of credit.
I mean, yes, yeah.
Okay.
So.
I've got to give it so great, because like we take the show so seriously.
I just
maybe more seriously than it takes itself.
I laughed very hard in like 3 spots. One of the spots I laughed really hard in is when she like is like talking out those horrible lyrics. I'm gonna make the day you regret. And what's her name was like
I think Craig's
in trouble. Oh my!
Like Ellie, just shut up. Just
Ellie,
shut up, Ellie.
I'm begging you. Again,
Thank you, Chris. I'm begging you. I am begging you.
That part really made me laugh. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Craig's in trouble?
Actually, though, and it was I felt personally victimized by those 2 lines, very much so.
I love how upset Craig is about
victimized. I felt personally attacked by that fucking poem she read in class.
Me too.
Oh, what is that?
Did anybody else write it down?
I would have laughed at those lyrics too.
I didn't write it down.
Can
Please go
it?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Black twisted agony. The fires of chaos burn on. Run for her tombstone before it's too late. The blood runs cold in her veins.
What are you talking about?
Well, she was
He's
talking
about
about
a
it.
girl in the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah. Which totally everyone gets, right?
Right. Like, that's just obvious. Like, people, the fact that she was able to use just what was it? The one word, the same word, void, what was it? I think she used the same word in the other song. And I'm just like, I need you to stop using these super horrible word. Like, get a thesaurus, but also maybe don't get a thesaurus, because I don't know what you're gonna do with that.
I mean, it's definitely no worse than the lyrics we see Craig trying to write.
They're both coming from the same very, very weird place with the first attempts here.
Like, whenever she read that in class, I was like, what? She's like, here's some lyrics to a song I wrote, and then read 3 lines. Like, it's like, either this is like a 15-second song, or what's going on here? Because you have 3 lines. That's not a song. That's 3 lines.
It's right.
It's the chorus, I would assume.
Well, maybe.
That better not be anybody's chorus.
It's horrible.
That better not.
I get why everyone in the class was laughing at her, because I would have too.
I think, and I mean, like, Kwan's reaction, I think everybody is just so used to, like, either reacting to Ashley with like I'm repelled from you because I really don't know where the fuck you're coming from, or I'm laughing at you because you're just coming from such a bizarrely comical place that I just need to, like, laugh about it.
Is she always this way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Full stop. Always this way.
Wow.
Terrible.
The fandom largely hates her, and one of the big reasons is in a later season, she writes a song and she performs it at like some lunchtime performance they're having, and Drake ends up having on mic with a rap, and everybody loves his rap, and then she's sending it into a studio and she takes his rap off of it.
Oh.
And then they break up, and he like kind of breaks up with her, but in a way where he's like, I'm making you do it, and she's like, you want me to just walk away? And he goes, I'd do it myself if I could, because it's after it's before he's Drake, but after he's Jimmy.
Yes.
That's so funny, because this is so Drake. Like, Drake is, or Jimmy is like Drake, if that makes sense. Like,
no, Jimmy. I came across a Facebook status that I sent to Avis that I wrote years ago. Hold on. Recently.
I also sent you a
March
meme.
of 2015. I posted on Facebook, the thing about Drake is that he's who Jimmy would have grown up to be if he hadn't gotten shot. So I'll always support Drake, because if Jimmy can't live his dreams, at least Drake can. Also, though, Drake is Canadian, so he needs to stop acting like he's hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's literally raps about being a gangster now.
I mean, he did get shot on Degrassi.
Yeah.
There was a shooting.
Yeah, no.
But
yeah,
I have a meme that's pretty relevant. I'm going to actually ask this admin if I can post it on our socials. But there's 4 panes, and then I'm going to show you the actual picture. The first pane is a guy who's on stage announcing, how are you tonight? Having a good time? Ready to party? Have fun? Second pane. Well, that was the last guys. Wrong fucking band. Third pane. We're here to have a bad time. Fourth pane. And it's got Ashley's head posted on it and synthesizer playing. And this is how I feel about this episode. No good vibes here. That's always Ashley's.
To give you some background, other songs we have heard from Ashley, she did write a really good song about rape.
She did,
which is what I sent you, and Paige kills it. It's amazing. But she wrote a song for Drake, the chorus of which is just her being like,
"Tell me, Lord."
No, I know you.
Oh, which one? Oh, that one. Oh, Tell Me Lies is much better. I know you, the real you. I know you, the real you.
over and over and over.
Yeah, it repeats multiple times in that like sort of range. Much better than I sound, but it's that range. Think of that like sort of sound in your ear.
Her submission to the Degrassi music catalog is like, oh, just tell me how I can be all that you ask of me and still feel that I am free. Free to be who I am. So this is definitely one of Ashley's best songs by a long shot.
Like, because it has to be sung like that. And it always...
So,
pacing is important.
Are we into talking about music? Like, are we
jumping all over.
Yeah, we're jumping all over, but no, we're...
I want to say, whenever... where's my notes? They just put this song fucking sucks. Whenever they're doing like the rehearsal for the first time for Downtown Sasquatch, like oh, that is the worst shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, when he has to tune the guitar and everything.
It is so unrealistic that in 1 week's time, but you would assume it's in a week's time, that you go from that to like professional band quality of music.
Right, with that little roll in the beginning of the drums and like the beautiful...
And,
like,
then he just comes on stage and just has never written these lyrics, and all of a sudden it's just...
And all this...
Healthy, perfect notes with the rolls and like the
and the way notes. He throws away the paper.
Oh my God.
Like when someone does a speech in a movie or TV show and they've got the cards and they've decided to deviate from these cards, so they throw the cards. They're like, you know what? Throws cards.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
And I'm just like, Craig, you were supposed to have just wrote these lyrics.
So it's so weird to watch it as like a growing up mostly reformed Craig girly, but I'm not mostly reformed. I'm always going to be a Craig apologist. And like,
it's strong within you.
It's not like I watch it and I'm like, ooh, Craig is so hot, but I'm like, I totally get what 15-year-old me was thinking, and I would make those same mistakes again. Like when Ashley like,
just like
falls
Ashley.
For it, I'm like, I would have to.
Ashley's like, they were just right.
By the way,
fucking dumbass.
Even like,
she's like, I regret nothing, and I would do it again.
I've played a lot of shows in my life, probably over 500. I've been to a lot of shows in my life. You really can't hear the singer that well, and like, there's like even like the best of like, like if you're going to like a Taylor Swift concert. You're still not hearing the vocals like that crisply and clearly. Part of the vibe is everyone knows the music. So like you just like you think that you're hearing it better than what you are because you know the music. That's part of the vibe of the live show. Sonics and everything, the vocals get muddied down a lot. Like I said, even in high productions like Taylor Swift, very great. So the fact that like she's sitting there so intently listening to like these lyrics that like I know she can't hear because they're in a fucking gymnasium, and like it's so tinny and bouncing off the wall, and she is just like, "This is it. He's won me back." But I think I heard him say sorry, so the lyrics have to be incredible.
Literally, just transported me to listening to anything in a gymnasium, and you're right.
Yeah,
the acoustics, like.
Sounds like the teacher from Peanuts is what it's gonna sound like. And she's like, "Oh yeah," and especially Drake can't tune his guitar. I know that guitar is just cutting through everyone's ears.
I just have such a hard, like, it's like the studio quality, vocal and music, like the production of these the instruments sound great. There's no like, it doesn't look like there's mics nearby, like it just I don't know, it's definitely like don't look at these details because the shit's gonna fall apart.
That part physically burnt me when the drummer grabbed his drum mic and spoke into it. Oh my fucking God. I know some dudes at venues who, if you did that, would just tell you to get off stage and never come back to this venue. Then, drum mics are drum mics. They're meant to catch drums, not grab physically with your hand and speak into them. Oh, it made my murder. It made me
know who
physically
party foul.
Who decided to, like, let Spinner be the spokesman for the band?
Oh
Where did
God.
that, like, where, I feel like
Ugh.
it just was very much a coup on Stone Spinner's part. It had to be.
I wanted to hear his lyrics because they were gonna be shit. I know it was
You
gonna be
heard
shit.
them, and they
You
were
heard
shit.
them.
They were
Wait,
shit.
I thought
His
he was
lyric,
ripping a line.
Our
no,
homie
it
is a
was,
player, that is
and that
all.
is all. So
So
I'm
why'd you
Oh,
have to
going
go
to
and
kick
kick his
his
ball and
ball and change.
oh no,
To
that was
make,
awesome. Yeah, no.
But like, how would that? But like,
are you
the
a
beat
Drake
they
fan,
played literally
Chris?
didn't.
I'm really not that big of a Drake fan. I wouldn't even call myself
Okay,
a Drake fan. Like, there's a
okay.
couple of songs, but
I
it's
think
mainly the
Is this your
songs.
favorite Drake song now?
I wrote down Drake still raps like this with these same lyrics.
You're not wrong. We literally, he has a lot of lyrics that are very, very misogynistic. On quite a few
Like,
levels.
like I said, remember I
So,
said a few minutes ago where I was like, Drake feels like he's just playing this character over and over now. Like this is who Drake is. Jimmy is Drake. And
Yeah.
that's why he named one of his more recent songs Jimmy Crooks. Like he legit believes he's never grown up from Jimmy.
no, I think the lines are non-existent. I mean, I think that they are one and the same.
All right, so if I was downtown Sasquatch, I would have gone with the rap.
You're like, I would have gambled it all, and
Like she wants to play hardball. Here we go. Dropping a diss track in front of you in front of the whole school.
If anything is known to Drake, it's diss tracks. So
Like
Do
that
you
would have been
want
pretty
the
hard.
backstory on, like, obviously Pregnant Ashley used to date and he cheated on her.
Yeah,
with a
he
grade
fucked
9.
it. Grade 9.
He
Yeah.
fucked a grade 9 and got her pregnant.
Yeah,
Whoa.
he did get her pregnant. That is the thing, and she went and had an abortion.
Good for her.
And then Ashley told the whole school that they were pregnant, like announced it in the cafeteria.
See, this shouldn't have happened in America because she would have been forced to carry that baby to term. It would have like been a huge mother on the show.
No, it was the 2000s. You could get an abortion back then. Source, I
Oh
did.
yeah,
So
yeah. You're right.
I live in, Jersey, so that option will continue
Gross.
to remain available to me. It is pretty gross, but other than that, I'm glad it's not Pennsylvania anymore because
Well, when
Kentucky.
I went to school in Alabama, so I remember you used to have to,
Woo!
if you wanted an abortion, you used to have to drive over to Georgia and do it.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough not to grow up somewhere where that was the case. My
Listen,
abortion was super
Listen,
accessible.
we're in
and I'm
Alabama.
really
We were just
glad.
raw on each other, okay?
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't have much
Did you
else
have, like,
to
good
do.
sex ed? Or
So
did
what?
you have abstinence only? Did you have abstinence only?
Yeah, they
sex
said
ed?
don't have sex.
Don't have sex.
It also didn't happen until didn't
And
happen
die.
until junior year when like a lot of people have already had sex.
Okay.
So
Okay.
hey, up, down, down. That's not the best. You know what you get, okay?
I was gonna say they kind of could have maybe
Did
dropped
y'all
that
get,
a
like, a
little bit
syphilis outbreak?
earlier.
They
maybe.
did show us herpes pictures. And then see, this is what happens if you have sex. So you know that scene in Mean Girls where it's like
Yes.
you will have to get pregnant and
Yes.
die. It's
Yeah.
kind of like
Yes.
Alabama's actual
Yes.
sex ed was back
Beautiful.
then.
That's beautiful.
I love
I'm
it.
not even joking. It's really just what it
I
was.
believe it. No, I believe it. I think it's kind of a dice roll on what level of either there's some sort of spectrum, I'm sure. I fell somewhere in the middle. They were like, eh. They were like, condoms are a thing. You could also just not. That would probably be best.
Pretty cool.
I was just like, you kind of aren't swaying me either way.
Abstinence. It's when it becomes abstinence only.
It's the only, right.
Like, it is 100% true that the only surefire way to avoid pregnancy and STDs is to abstain.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not going to do that, here are ways to protect yourself. It's
Right.
not that hard. It's not that fucking hard.
Boring.
They make it hard.
Okay, so Chris, which song do you think should have won the Battle of the Bands? Not Jimmy's rap. because that was
That's not applicable.
Oh,
And
man,
it's
let me-
not a
Mr.
right.
Nice
I'm
Guy
sorry, that was in my
and
notes. Let me
Dust.
just X that out real quick.
Shit. No.
No, I honestly think Downtown Sasquatch should have won. Like, it was a
Okay.
way more dynamic song. The singing was so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
It felt like there was emotion behind it. Hell Have No Fury is just was like
They're a
sounded like-
concept band.
it sounded like the Donnas. Like it's just like
Yeah,
just-
you know.
we're just kind of here, not really good at what we do, but we're here. Yeah, here we go.
We're here. We're
Yeah.
equipped. and
Where
we've got
Downtown Sasquatch
t-shirts.
sounded like an arena band, which is weird because Drake couldn't tune his guitar, and now he's ripping through like,
Power
these
trio.
complicated riffs. But that was another, by the way, that was another thing that really physically irked me was whenever he was like, Craig was like, let me tune your guitar for you, Jimmy. And he starts to tune it, but the guitar strap is actually touching the strings. There's no fucking way you can be tuning it because the strings would be muted from the guitar strap. And he starts making noises like he's tuning it. And it's like, that's not happening. I can see the guitar strap laid
There were
over the
noises.
strings.
They added those in ADR. They
Ugh.
were like, literally,
God.
we're not reshooting it. The guy in the booth was like, fuck, guys, somebody's gonna notice this. They're
Clearly.
like, fuck you, we're not bringing these
Oh.
kids back and recording this. ADR it. I
God,
guarantee
it was
They
just
do
so
shit
ridiculous.
one time.
It was so ridiculous. But no, Downtown Sasquatch was better music.
It is better. But
Yeah.
I always wondered and I mean, maybe this is just because I don't know. Maybe it could be explained, but initially Downtown Sasquatch goes before Hell Hath No Fury. And then when the actual performance happens, it's the reverse. And it has to be the reverse so that they can make fun of them initially and be like, oh, this song has lyrics and they can be intimidated. And then it's reversed so that the song we've heard can go on and the song we haven't can be, because it doesn't work if we hear Craig's song first. It's not as powerful.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, did they just think
Craig was
that
shook.
Craig was fucking like, she's already won. I'm dropping out, guys.
She said, you're going to regret the day you met me. And he instantly did.
He did. It's like, damn. I ruined
Because
the day.
everybody regrets the day they met Ashley because Ashley is the worst.
That's
Two small things that I want to note are, one, I love how uncomfortably close Margot and Craig are sitting on that couch when they listen to
Oh my
Jimmy
gosh.
Spinner's rap.
I love it. I was getting when in doubt, you kiss Craig vibes heavy in this episode. I was feeling they had more sexual
And I like
tension
when
than
they
Joey
don't
and
look
Caitlin for me.
Yes,
uncomfortable.
yes.
They're
Their
like,
sexual I was
I
like,
don't wanna
kiss.
sit that close with my husband. Like,
It's such a cozy couch too. It's one of those ones you just sink into, and he's got his little legs up, and
now I got to sit this close to this guy and listen to Drake rap about a nightmare.
their faces while they're watching are both like equally like
I love how
horrified.
Honestly, I love how much Drake gets into rapping misogynistically. Like
He's like,
all
damn.
about
He's
it.
like, it's my time to
He's
shine.
like, I just fucking went off.
it's so funny too because we've had Shane Kippel, who plays Spinner, on a couple of times, and we were talking about that rap because it's coming up. And he was like, he's on Jimmy, and he's like, yeah, people ask me to do it all the time, and I feel like I have to start by being like, I do not co-sign this. Like,
I do, Spinner. Spinner, if you're out there, I do.
Spinner. I am just saying, a fictional Spinner is probably really like happy right now and blissfully still running the dot. Hopefully only coming in a couple times a week because
and having to like eat hamburgers in the car in a parking lot 2 towns over because his vegetarian wife won't let me eat.
Oh my gosh, is she canonically like always vegetarian?
I think so.
Horrible.
She's munching on like tempeh and alfalfa.
Yeah, there's a scene where she's got this sandwich. It's like, it's tempeh. Did it even have tempeh, or did we say it would have been improved by tempeh because it was that bad of a sandwich?
I think
No,
we
we
had
said it needed
tempeh.
tahini. Okay, so
We
it was
it needed
tempeh,
tahini, right?
sprouts,
And
and like
It's kind of
peanut
funny.
sauce
yeah, peanut sauce. I was
on
like, that's
like
dry
Ezekiel
as
bread.
fuck.
It's kind of funny because like, and nothing against vegetarians, but I literally have never met a vegetarian who didn't have main character syndrome. So
I used to be a vegetarian.
it makes sense that like it would be
I
like
do.
a very jarring character in a show because they already have main character syndrome and they would just make every interaction like all about me.
Do I have main character syndrome, Caroline?
Are you vegetarian now?
I used to
No.
be. No, I broke
Well, then no.
She was
vegetarianism for
very
like 7
recently,
years.
though.
Yeah,
well,
after
you-
7
No,
years.
you
or
don't
so.
have main character energy.
You
Okay,
just
so
used to.
I worked
It expired.
It's just
when I lived in Indianapolis, I lived in this town called Robertville, and like my dad's restaurant started out before he bought it as like the first vegan restaurant in Robertville. And it then became vegan vegetarian, and then my dad bought it and was like, we're into meat. But they still had a lot of vegetarian and vegan options. And so I was around a lot of vegetarians, and I would say a lot of them, yes, main character syndrome, but I would say not. And I would say even like a good chunk of not all.
Yeah, just like not all men, right?
Yes, yes.
You were waiting for that. You were sitting.
Wow.
Teed up. You had it
Yes.
teed up, Chris. I saw it in your eyes.
Chris, vegetarianism, it's like super on par with all of the patriarchal bullshit that not all men encompasses.
A quick aside. One of my favorite dishes I've ever had anywhere is a slot in Gainesville, Florida. They do these cauliflower like wings. They're vegan cauliflower wings and like a Thai peanut sauce. That is one of the best things I've ever had in my life.
Its cauliflower surprisingly is like delicious in like little bite forms and
Yeah.
Because cauliflower doesn't have a lot of flavor, so it's easy
Yeah, so you
to
can
use
use flavor on anything.
Yeah. Because I love, and I don't even really, I do like cauliflower in its many forms, but I think it's probably, if I want to have it and not worry about like if it's healthy or not, because I like cauliflower mash for when I'm trying to be healthy, but deep fry that bitch and
So good.
give me, and
Honestly,
like I love it like General Tso's or like when you coat it in sauce or whatever,
dude,
like,
I
ooh.
actually
good.
really love for like vegetarian and vegan cooking is like uses like actual cooking principles and makes like cuisine out of it because I mean there's like Indian food. I mean it's like that. Like it's a lot of vegan and vegetarian cooking with like real cooking principles. I just hate when people are like, oh, we're gonna substitute this meat for a portobello mushroom, and it's like
I always felt very personally like victimized by that. Like, why do you think I want to just eat like a big ass mushroom cap? You didn't even stuff it with anything.
Right?
It's barely washed. Like
Right.
I can still taste the earth on this bitch. Like,
It's like
please.
the same thing when people are like, oh yeah, jackfruit's a perfect pulled pork replacement. It's like it's not. Like it's tasty
It's
when you make it
passable,
right, but it's
but
not
I would
pulled
say it's
pork.
cool. It's shredded jackfruit.
Yeah, don't do this to me.
Don't do this.
Like vegan and vegetarian cooking can stand on its own, and I love when people use it as a vessel where it stands on its own.
No,
I agree
had
with that.
some
Definitely.
amazing like vegan dishes that I would eat again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But when it can stand on its own, it's absolutely.
And I haven't had like good veggie and vegan burgers. My dad's portobello burger was not just a cat. It was like ground up and had like binding and whatever, and like he made a patty.
That sounds
and
like
I'd have
the
him
way.
make it like real thin, cut it in two, so you got like those like smash burger crispy goodness going on before
That
smash
sounds good.
burgers were a thing.
Yes, this is awesome.
I know I'm a little hungry. It's like I love it when the burger doesn't fall apart because it was very hard for me to find a vegetarian or vegan because the lines overlap. But I was just like, just give me, because I need my cheese on a burger. I'm sorry, but give me some sense of like it's not gonna fall apart. Conformity, just paste, something uniformity. Thank you. I said conformity. And like some sort of binding is just really hard for most of these vegetarian or vegan patties, and they just crumble up. Especially if you want to put like tomato or lettuce on them. It's like, no, they're not going to stand past the first bite. It's just going to be like a salt, like you got to smush together. And textures suck when you're vegetarian. Sometimes you're not getting that meat like bite because a lot of stuff isn't as firm. Vegetables just aren't as firm as meat. But I digress.
I worked at a place. I worked in another place in Roderick that had a pretty decent vegetarian offering, and one of their vegetarian burgers was a patty made out of nuts.
Yeah.
That was actually way better than like you would thinking.
No, I'm interested in that. That's not because like I like nut loaves, like those kind of like I think nuts are really cool in cooking if you do them right. So like mushrooms and like walnuts is a good mix for like making sort of a really solid patty.
I love how this has become an impromptu veggie burger podcast. Sorry, Chris.
It's okay.
Get off. We just like
reverting back to the main character syndrome.
Fuck you. This is our podcast, and I'm not a vegetarian and never have been.
Never took a walk on the vegetarian side of town. But I think my last, because I think we did pretty good with discussing the music, which is a big part of this episode. But I do want to say that I don't think that Craig could have managed a conversation that would have would have meant this much and kind of satisfied Ashley enough so that the healing could begin for her. I think that's when Craig realizes that he has kind of a talent, and that this may be the only way for him to communicate certain things. He also goes on to like use that for evil, obviously.
Well, this isn't the first time that he said things to Ashley in a song, because he writes.
It's not that right.
He shine.
He does, but then she doesn't believe him. Like she thinks kind of what she should think in this instance, like, oh, he's just writing me a song to manipulate me. But I mean, she accepts it, but then she goes on to be like, is that why you wrote the song? Blah, 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 to get me to sleep with you? And like she was thinking it all along.
So he fucks Manny instead.
So he fucks Manny instead. But she still is like, I'm justifying that. If you had let me fuck you, I would not have fucked Manny.
That's true.
And for me, it's just like, okay, but do you realize that you're still a little like piece of shit for
Craig
this?
Is so
do you
awful.
realize he's like, he does it though. You see his face and he's serious.
Listen,
he's dead serious.
I'm not going to justify anything. All I'm just saying, as someone who was once younger, I see the vision.
Yeah, no, it's like
the way also that Manny was available, and
Craig's got like a fucked up backstory and a fucked up relationship with like people who claim to love him and what he thinks love is.
He does.
Excuse me of it, but he's a child.
Dude, same. Like I was a very big piece of shit in my early 20s, and Craig is exactly who I was to a lot of women. And
I mean, you're still out here writing songs called "The Haunted," but
that is quite literally about sex.
Out here in these streets wreaking havoc.
So, like I said, I'm not excusing it. I just understand the behavior. And
no, and it's okay.
And
here's the thing too: is we are talking about not just fictional characters, but like children. We give them a lot more grace than we would give, somebody on Grey's Anatomy. You're a whole ass surgeon. You should know better.
Do they? I don't think that they're emotionally stunted people in general. So like, I'm just saying, like, again, I'm not excusing anything, but like, that was probably like one of the most realist moments I've seen in these 2 episodes. Is a man being like, I wouldn't have fucked her if you would have just fucked me more. Like, that was like one of the realest things I've seen.
At all, actually. Ashley is not put out.
Ashley's not put out.
See?
Yeah.
I'm actually on the wrong side now.
I'm so done. At least Craig has some, at least Craig has got some, because he needs somebody behind him who's like, yeah. Because
But,
he
Craig,
is so
Craig,
very
live your truth.
serious about
Live
his
your truth,
position.
Craig.
He does
Oh,
not
God.
realize how deeply he hurt this girl. He's not.
He's so
He's so
indignant by the fact that she's like still not okay with him.
Literally, he's like, "You're making my life hell. You're fucking with me in the hallways." And she's like, "Craig, you really fucked me up. Like, you seriously hurt me." And he's like, "Oh God,
Right.
shut up.
He did say that.
This bullshit again."
You didn't have sex with me. Do you know what that did to me?
Right? Like, that psychologically fucked me up. You know,
Stop thinking about yourself, Ashley.
I was in a lot of pain too. Okay,
You're from blue balls, right?
Well, and okay,
That's
so
it.
to give you a little more background, because I do think it's important, like in relationships here. So
Oh
he had
my
sex with a
gosh.
grade 9 named Manny, who we have known since season 1. She's been on the show longer than Craig. He asks her to dance at a dance in season 2, and then they go on a date, and it goes poorly because he, like, at the end of the date, he's thinking about kissing her, but he says it would feel like kissing his little sister, Angie, who we met in this
who we
episode.
see. Yeah.
Weird.
So he doesn't, because, like, he realizes, like, how much younger than her he is.
Yeah, he has
Or
morals.
how much, yeah. And so, fun fact, Angie is actually played by Manny's little sister in real life.
Yeah, the actresses are sisters.
Hmm.
Little fun jab by the writers, I guess.
And then
Actually, that is
Manny's,
pretty
like,
clever. Like,
yeah. Manny's like steady chasing Craig for a while, and like waits for him and Ashley to have a fight, and then is like, pussy?
Like, she makes a fool of herself multiple times at this man's feet. Like, multiple times. And then she is like lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce. And yes, and then she is like, pussy, I've got pussy if you want some.
So what you're telling me is that it's actually her fault. That
What
Craig
you-
is just an innocent bystander.
Well, no, because he
I
didn't
would not
trip
go
and
that
fall
far.
into her
I would
pussy,
not go
Chris.
that far.
He did not
Yeah.
trip and fall into her, okay? Takes 2 to tango.
I can
And he
only go by the
tangled.
context Caroline gives me.
He tangled multiple times, actually.
Oh,
He continued to tango.
She could.
This
have done
was an
better.
affair.
He also could have done better.
He could have done better on multiple occasions. He bought her gifts. He was in deep.
oh,
And no.
suck.
And then was
He
confused.
did buy her
And then-
really good gifts, though.
He bought her really good gifts, and more than he bought Ashley for some reason. He
Yeah.
bought her one more gift than he bought Ashley. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up.
And these are the best.
Fucked with
lyrics
Ashley.
could come up with.
Oh.
Ashley was pissed. She's so pissed off that she's had that one lyric. Gonna make the day you met me, the day you regret. Because she's just pissed. She's
Craig's
pissed
in
off.
trouble, guys.
That's the only lyric she had. That's my feeling. That's the only lyric she ever had. And
Cassie
she built the
Steele-
whole song off that.
Cassie Steele's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't she?
Yeah,
She
dude,
is.
Jesus Christ.
Like, just, like, you don't understand why he did this to her. Like, to
Cassie, if
her.
you're out there, I hope Craig didn't hurt you too bad.
She just had a
Spoiler
baby.
alert.
She's living her best life.
She is. She's still beautiful. She's so cute. Like, she's aged, like,
Gracefully.
gracefully. Like, she looks the same.
Must be fucking nice.
Well, we don't all have, you know.
My beard was fully black when I moved to Vermont.
Damn, Vermont did some
Why did you
some
move to
shit
Vermont?
on you.
Well, I told you I'm from the South.
Yes.
This is people who don't live in the South don't quite understand how hardcore Trumpism is there. In ways that you just don't understand up here, that you don't see up here. Like up here, it's kind of like, oh, there's like crazy neighbors, or there's like this little pocket of people.
Those like
There's
six
a-
dudes who stand
there's
by
a
the naked
whole
man with
neighborhoods
signs
in
on
cities.
Fridays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the
there's a
tinfoil
whole
hat
neighborhoods
people.
and cities.
Mhm.
Didn't want to raise my Mexican son in that environment. Because you got to think too, around about 3.5 years ago, this was when all like the border stuff was in the news. Um, everyone's just hating Mexicans, like just blind xenophobia against Mexicans, especially where I was. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not bringing my son up here. And also too, like I was just involved in like a lot of activism and stuff. And it wasn't getting any better. And
Damn.
I had to make a decision really that was like, at what point is just staying in this hostile territory just being selfish for my own wants and needs for activism? And do I need to get my son to a better place? And
Yeah.
and then basically we kind of found Vermont. My son was supposed to be in special education, and at the time, Vermont ranked in the top 5 in special education. So that was like a big factor. So we moved here. Yeah, education is huge. I mean, I think Vermont
It's
public school
important.
systems are still in the top 10 in the country.
Nice.
So I mean, yeah, that was huge. We went from the year we moved here, Vermont was number 9 in the country, and Alabama was 49. So that was really like huge
Like one away
from
from
50.
50th.
It's
Is
Mississippi.
Puerto
above.
Rico included in that ranking?
No, they don't like to
Okay.
include Puerto Rico because then they
In
have to
anything.
acknowledge them as people.
Right, that's true.
Do you know what state was below Alabama?
Mississippi, it's always Mississippi.
It's always
Mississippi fucking sucks.
Damn, good thing I have no reason to ever go there.
Dude, I have really good friends who live in Mississippi.
Mhm.
And you know, like Caroline's seen some of this. People talk shit about Alabama and say, whoa. Yeah, there's some shitheads there, but like there are awesome people in Alabama. It's very multicultural. The food scene is like no other. There is like real community. It's just a place that's really held back by its representatives. And Mississippi, everyone from there is like, oh yeah, everything about this place sucks. But it's like half the cost to live than anywhere else because it sucks so bad. So I'm just gonna stick here.
Damn. That sucks. That sounds like what people say about Ohio up here. I have never met anybody who's like an Ohio enthusiast who's like,
I know
"This is
someone who-
great."
I have 2 friends with someone who lives in Cincinnati and absolutely loves Cincinnati. But then they're also like Cincinnati's not Ohio.
No.
My godmother lives
No.
in Cincinnati, and like, so I spent some time in Cincinnati, and I like it well enough. Except that Cincinnati has a very high like Orthodox Jewish population, which is totally fine unless you find yourself with a flat tire during the fucking Sabbath in a time before like cell signal was super accessible. I pulled into a strip mall. I'm like 21 years old, home for Thanksgiving, with my worst boyfriend who is sucking so hard in this situation. I pull into a strip mall. There's a synagogue, a store that sells like FUBU wear, and a Captain D's, which is like a knockoff Long John Silver.
Oh, I've never gotten these.
And Captain D's
You
and
sound
the
like the
FUBU wear store are closed.
This sounds like the worst array of like.
It was so bad. It was
Honestly, I'll be honest, those Jews sound a little unorthodox to me.
One man did stop and help me, but then he couldn't get my lug nuts off, and his yarmulke fell on the ground, and I've never felt more horrible about something that I really had no control over in my life.
Jesus.
That just seems like something you shouldn't see.
Like, I'm so sorry. Like, you're working on the Sabbath, and and I don't know how sacred a yarmulke is, but it was not my favorite. Like, it was. But otherwise, I like Cincinnati. No, the yarmulke was fine. Just that experience, I was like, I feel really bad about this, even though I shouldn't feel bad about it because you offered.
Right.
Yeah. It's his choice.
So,
oh my gosh.
If you're in Cincinnati, just like make sure that you're not leaving cell service during the Sabbath.
Well, that's a moral if there ever was one. But I think maybe to tie up the A plot and then slide into our segments, I respect Ashley for waving the white flag and speaking kindly to Craig. However, upon further reflection, because that was my note, and through this discussion, I think that she's
at the end of the episode.
At the end of the episode, yeah. I think that she is just like
yeah, no,
just sprung.
Are we ready to move into segments?
Hell yeah.
So I haven't listened to a lot of the Ramones. I don't think I will listen to a lot of the Ramones. They were giving me and I know I listen to way more Beach Boys than I listen to any of the Ramones, but they were giving me Beach Boy if the Beach Boys were more rockery vibes.
They cite Beach Boys as their biggest influence.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I heard that, because I was just like, is this the motherfucking Beach Boys with more more instruments? Played a little, actually, maybe not more instruments, maybe just the same ones played differently. But
yeah, that's the Ramones.
It was just very much
considered punk.
Oh, of course, yeah. Especially at the time they were in your face, the all leather in the jeans, they were definitely counterculture. Which is what punk kind of is. But that being said, Joey was a huge fan of the Beach Boys, which were clearly pop, bubblegum pop that people love. And he wanted to make that music with punk. So there's a lot of bleed over of the pop.
So he was kind of like an early Avril Lavigne, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry.
I'm not even think it's a joke. I think, yeah. They're not, given the context, they're not far off from that. They are similar versions of the same thing.
Oh, damn. I only knew the one guy in this band, and now the bowl cut is so strong. Why is he so proud about this? Oh my God. The cover art is just so bad.
Oh, and another one of them is proud about other things. Being white pride.
Oh God! Which one? Bowl cut guy? Is it the bowl cut guy?
I forget. So one of them was a very controversial figure who they did their damnedest to make sure that nothing ever leaked. Even to this day, the Ramones was one of the most biggest names in punk history. Even to this day, if you go on the internet trying to find information, you're only going to find information about Joey and the other guy who's always mentioned, who's still alive and kicking. There was one guy who was a definite not great person, and the efforts that went through to keep some of his bad stuff under wraps is legendary.
People are so lucky that they were born in a certain time and grew to prominence in a certain fucking time, because you can't turn around wrong today without someone fucking knowing about it, okay?
Yeah.
You just can't.
It is crazy. It's...
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky, unnamed dude from the Ramones. You're lucky.
Yeah. And I say, I know about this. I don't even know the guy's name. I just know that he was involved in some very unscrupulous beliefs. And the band and management over the years always knew about it. And they just, from the get-go, made sure to hide it.
Well, that's always
because they're, especially the New York, New Jersey punk scene where they came from, even though it was very white, there was also a very big black presence as well that kind of helped prop up the punk and hardcore scene down into DC.
Yes, so, black people love punk. Black people love
especially the hardcore scene. Black people were very involved with the hardcore scene in those days. Like I said, even though you pick up a documentary now and it's all white people,
white people.
Part of that is purposeful because the people making the documentaries probably weren't the best people, but black people always had a big hand in those scenes. So you kind of started this thing where beforehand, a lot of the musicians, really before punk, a lot of musicians just didn't care. We're just all about white pride and stuff, and they just never looked to hide it. Whereas, but punk scene was very socially aware. very working class projects, the ghettos, the barrios, all these poor places were supporting this type of music. I think the early days of punk and hip hop really resemble each other in a lot of ways, that they came from very poor places.
Yeah.
And so this is the first time ever that musicians are trying to hide their shitty beliefs because they know it will hold them down on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So.
No, I mean, that's, it's very, very much so.
Thanks so much, surprise. That's why I'm meeting up.
That seems a job.
That was the leap, skip, and hop. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You know.
Before we skip on over to the fashion corner, I do have a Heather Sinclair hypothesis.
Lovely.
We've done her before. It's Scooter Girl, but she also may also be that other blonde girl. Now look alike, the Heather Sinclairs.
Really do.
But she's the front and center. They show.
I was gonna, yes. I mean, she is indeed Scooter Girl. They make her wear the same hair.
She did stick out like a sore thumb. Like, who's this?
Well, okay, you don't know about Heather Sinclair. Heather Sinclair is the character who is referenced from like season 2 on, maybe season 1. She's never seen. And so we like to keep an eye out for her.
Yeah, we're kind of
that
like
girl gets shown a lot.
Yeah, she's one of those characters that people talk about all the time, but we never see her. She's not a real character, but so we're putting a hypothesis of background characters, whomever, that we think could be our Heather Sinclair, and they've just been hiding her from us.
Chris, do you have any fashions?
Yes, I do. I do. So, this whole episode, this isn't about anyone in particular, but this whole episode has this really weird style where every dude is dressed like they're either a skater or in the Strokes, or sometimes a combination of both. And it's throughout this entire episode. I live in Canada during this time, but I was in high school during this time. Nobody dressed like that. And it's just so weird. Everyone's dressing like they are rich people going to school in downtown New York. But this is small suburban Canada, and it's just really weird because like the fashion in the last episode I watched was like not very forward or hip or trendy at the time, but this whole episode is like super like hip and trendy. Like, like the Strokes were dressing around the Strokes were doing in the early 2000s, but like by like 2010. Like, you couldn't go, like, to a bar without seeing a multitude of dudes dressed like how everyone's dressed in Degrassi in this episode. Like, it's kind of wild how trendy and ahead of its time it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they kind of stepped it up. I think they threw a lot of good outfits at the wall in this episode. I think I actually just noticed that Ellie and Ashley are wearing, like, compatible t-shirts. Like one has a tank on it, and one has, what are those, the things you pull the pin and grenade, thank you. Yeah, and there's and that is something they never do. They never have them wearing like complimentary anything, but they're supposed to be like a badass rocker chick band in this episode, so they've got to be complimentary. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Speaking of complimentary too, like even like Downtown Sasquatch, like everyone else in the band is dressed like, again, like they're in the Strokes, and then Spinner just has like a hoodie on, which is so true for every band. Like the drummer refuses to dress like anyone else in every band I've ever been in or hung out with. Like, even my band, we were wearing, like, coordinated stage outfits for a little bit. And our drummer was like, sleeveless shirt. shorts.
Okay.
Great. So I think
Mm-mm-mm.
that's a little detail that is very true to life. The drummer is just not going to match the vibe of everybody else. He's going to do his own thing.
March to the beat of his own drum, as it were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
right.
Thanks.
I didn't have to
yeah.
write that down.
That just came naturally.
Well-
I'm bothered heavily by Craig's pants in the final performance. I am just so upset with the way that he has it like precariously belted around those fucking jeans around his waist. It looks like he should not take any sudden movements because they will just slip right on down the ass. It's so bad. And I just never seen his pants just on his body that way. They look so horrible. And then his shirt and his jean jacket's too tight.
Oh yeah.
And his shirt is a little bit like if he raises his arms, there's belly.
So, like, no joke. Go look at the Strokes video for last night, and quite literally, it's like someone saw that video and like went the next day on Degrassi said like we have to make this happen. Everyone has to look like this, and like, oh man, do I have an episode for you?
Okay, I've got the Strokes. Oh my gosh.
Like I said, it was very, very influenced from like that.
I'm sorry, but is this really these people? Is this a parody or is this the people?
That's them.
That's just way later.
Yeah, that would be a little bit later in their career.
Doesn't this guy look like fucking Craig?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the
You
fuck?
could tell me this was Downtown Sasquatch. I'd be like, who's that guy on the phone?
I'm gonna tell my kids this was Downtown Sasquatch.
Yes.
So if you love that,
Wow.
if you like that, the vibe I was getting from Hell Hath No Fury was a personal favorite of mine. First of all, whenever they came out in their matching outfits with Craig's up in flames, I literally spit my beer out. I was...
Chris, if I had that t-shirt made for you, would you wear it?
No, I'm not doing that. I was drinking
What if I made it into a sweater? What if I, with my own blood, sweat, and tears?
No, it's horrible. I was drinking a Heady Topper that is $17.99 a 4-pack. And I spit it out. And it was that
in
bad.
This economy, Chris, in this economy.
However, I know where the inspiration came from. And it is a personal favorite band of mine from Canada, which makes sense. It's a band called Kitty.
Ooh.
And if you look at Kitty's first promo shots, that is exactly where they got Hell Hath No Fury image for the Battle of the Bands.
Okay, I see the vibes. I see the vibes.
The pissed off Hot Topic vibe.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
I do. That's funny.
Which is cool because I joke that Andrew Nine's joking that they just filmed with whoever showed up that day. But as far as like the fashion and like the vibes of bands and stuff, they had some real influence on that set because like you get Henny Kenny vibes from Hell Hath No Fury. You get the Strokes vibe from Downtown Sasquatch. It's someone put thought into it and care, and I think that's really cool.
You get Drake vibes from Jimmy's Rap.
You get Drake vibes. You lay the foundation for who he's going to be.
They literally say, I mean, I think this probably belonged more in the music corner, but I did write it down. I forget to say it because Ellie says, like, during the whole "you're so vain" conjecture or whatever, I'm just like, why are you guys name dropping Carly Simon? Get out of my face.
It's literally from the 60s.
Deep cut there.
Ashley loves Carly Simon.
Okay, I love Carly Simon.
I love Carly Simon too, but I'm not going to make it my personality the way that like Ashley is.
Well, then, yeah, that's fair.
Speaking of Ashley, that is my final note on the fashion corner.
Mm-hmm.
That haircut is truly despicable.
Oh yeah.
And it was so true to fashion at the time because everyone at my school had that same haircut at one point or another.
It is truly her best haircut.
With the zigzag part,
Ugh.
the heavy
Ugh.
zigzag. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of grown out a little bit to where I personally liked it a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, it was better.
It was better, less heavy
at the start of season 3.
At the start of season 3. Now it's gotten less of my fave. It's back to being
that haircut was like every popular girl who was hot shit, who bullied everyone and went on and became a nurse. Like that was their haircut of choice.
There's literally so many fucking videos on the mean girl to nurse pipeline.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, it's scary. It's so scary.
It's so concerning. It's so concerning. If I were to
pull a yearbook from my senior year, like every girl has that haircut in their senior portrait. It's crazy. I don't know who started it or how it became a thing, but it had a chokehold on like women's fashion. Not teen fashion.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a bad haircut. It's so bad.
It is.
The thing is, you know what I hate too is you can tell like in real life she's really feeling that haircut. Like she is wearing that haircut. And it's
easy to take care of. It's
bad haircut. Bad haircut.
She just has to do her little zigzag part in the morning.
It's like it makes her even more of like a vindictive bitch too. It's like at the haircut.
Okay, so Ashley herself has not entered her villain era, but her hair has.
Yes,
I think that's what's happening here.
Yeah. She enters. You can tell me she enters nursing school next season. I'm like, yeah. Checks out.
Ashley's hair's been in its villain era since the goth day.
We suffered so much during those goth days.
Poor Melissa.
Ashley, and maybe this is a me problem, but like the hair because I now associate that haircut with like 30-something-year-old people. Like now, like 30-year-olds who are like trying to like still reclaim their youth, like get that haircut now. And so it just makes me think of like, a freshly divorced mom. So Ashley comes across as way older in this episode because of that haircut. But like I said, that could just be a me thing.
No, I think that's pretty on point. Unfortunately, it's not a good hairstyle. It ages her.
She's in her divorced mom era.
It looks right. It looks like she could just swap outfits and she'd be going to a soccer meet.
She's Joey's love interest now.
Okay, my final outfit. Caitlin disappointed me heavily in this episode for reasons unrelated to her outfits. But I will say that the final outfit she wears where she's talking to Joey and they sit on the couch, I thought I liked it. I like the turtleneck she has on under because I love the turtleneck. It's a brown turtleneck. But the collarless, frumpy jacket of questionable material that she has on over it just ruins the whole thing for me. And the jeans don't save it. So
They don't.
They don't. I don't. And I mean, honorable mention for her little silk red power suit.
Disaster.
But the actual blazer, no. And I love a blazer, but no.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
That outfit.
No.
It's
but
like
without the blazer, maybe.
I don't know. It's just I wasn't feeling it. Like it felt like those early 2000 like rom-coms were like the girl who does not have her shit together, but puts on a blazer to like pretend she has her shit together for a big interview. It's exactly what that outfit felt like. But she did drop a cell phone in the grits, so
I think that was what it was supposed to give, though. I think it was supposed to give dressing up like a power
and grown up. Yeah.
Yes.
Hot mess.
She's got a huge pot of boiling hot mess.
Dude,
for two kids. For 2 kids, and you've already served one. So where's the horde of children coming to eat this shit? So you're gonna
It's not gonna be
save
that.
oatmeal doesn't heat up well. I don't know. You've never taken care of kids or yourself, but like oatmeal does not heat up well. You do not make oatmeal in bulk. You do not do that.
She's probably never made oatmeal before. Like,
so she just gets out the spaghetti sauce pan and she's like, "Here we go." Just like pour all the oatmeal. And Joey's like, "That shit was supposed to last a month. What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Joey's just like in pain. This fucking heating pad.
How about Megan calling him?
This.
That's such a weird line.
I've always admit that's. I watched this episode 3 times. So I did. And every time I actually had to rewind it to hear the little back and forth between Craig and Ashley for the shots fired. So I ended up hearing Joey say that line like way too many times, and I still don't know what it means. I'm still so like, where did you get that from?
Why is the caller breakfast asking you to leave something after the tone?
Right.
That doesn't make sense. It's poorly it's not.
Maybe he's asking for bacon.
Dad joke.
Maybe he's trying to be like, listen, he's probably zooted off of pain meds.
Yeah, hopefully, because that back crack would look really painful. I really hope his ass like popped to like a ibuprofen 800 and like called his ass a fucking, because like,
yes, an ibuprofen.
He did that trying to impress his bitch daughter.
Because she called him Fuddy Duddy. So I mean.
Well, Caitlin called him Fuddy Duddy.
Right, Caitlin called him Fuddy Duddy, so he felt threatened. So he had to go break his little baby back.
Oh, Joey.
To be fair, I would be laid up like indefinitely after a back injury of that magnitude. Dude, that shit would take me down.
I'm still a little sore from falling on ice last weekend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that fall, yeah. Even like a full booty fall, like the booty's got to absorb that shock.
So
I don't have an ass, Avis.
It was all tailbone.
Yeah,
it was all tailbone.
I have a note that I think ties into fashion corner, but it's not. Mm-hmm. So I wrote down another one. I wrote that Joey looks like a penis. So
you said it could be related to fashion corner, but it's not. How would one change that?
I don't know.
By putting on a hat.
I threw it up there. Felt fashion centric.
I mean, the doctor argued against that.
It's just looks like a penis.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I mean, that is...
He doesn't not look like a penis.
Is this a penis? Joey Jeremiah. Bald heads everywhere are assessing their lives and what they're right. Like, do I look like is this penis?
Yeah, be careful. You get real penisy real quick.
Oh my gosh. I guess calling someone a penis is actually a really good transition into shots fired.
We have a hun count first. We haven't had that in a while.
Oh, we haven't had on in a while, yeah.
But we do get a hun when Ashley says that nobody said anything about her. She can't, like, I think nobody said anything about her saw. And Paige says, hun, I don't think anyone got it because no one got it.
No one got it. Yeah.
Very niche audience.
They were actually kind to her. Yeah. Yes, now we can fire some shots
for a while, and I'm keeping track. It's important.
No, yes, it is important to know. We have the tally.
It is, you're right. Yeah. It's all right.
Pew, 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 pew.
Shots fired.
Who wants to start us with the shots fired?
I will. I have Craig saying, I know that was energy was scattered. It's fine. Craig saying, guys, what was that? Jimmy, have you ever heard of tuning? Marco, it's a bass, man. You play one note at a time.
Okay,
It's all
brought
good.
out the machine gun.
Right. Pew, pew. Rapid fire. Rapid fire.
Before that all even started, because I have a quote from that exact scene.
Mhm.
How about you guys just concentrate on getting the song down?
Ooh.
Bitch, you don't have lyrics.
Pew.
I have two from before that.
Ooh.
One of them being Ellie and Ashley's "Excuse Us, Poser."
Yeah.
Musicians coming through, and then Ashley being like, "Because nothing gets in the way of what Craig wants. Not emotions, honesty, other people's feelings."
That was good.
For me, I couldn't stop the chuckle when they said posers because they were so serious. Posers.
You remember in season 2 when Ashley reads her shitty poem and Ginny tells her, or her shitty story, and Ginny tells her that it's shit, and she goes, "I wouldn't expect a conformist to understand." It's giving that.
It is very heavily.
So I'm glad we already touched on that. I think Craig's in trouble. Classic line.
Yes.
I also have when they're doing their rehearsals that whole half the fury was going on. She's like, "This song, it has lyrics."
Yes. Mine next one is Craig after Ashley reads that terrible poem in class. And she says it's about a girl dying in the Spanish Civil War, and Craig says, "Yeah, I feel her pain." We all do, Craig.
I of course had to throw in Ellie and Ashley again with stuff of Craig actually thinks the song is about him now.
Yes.
So Dane.
Yes, absolutely.
Or Ashley hits him with the "have sex with grade 9." Yeah, have sex with more grade 9s.
Well, and before that, when he's like, "You're gonna go and sing that song," and he goes, "Well, what did you expect?
For he's a jolly good fellow." Yes. Yeah.
I also have
that same conversation though.
Go ahead, Chris.
If you weren't such a prude, I'd never even been with Manny.
Yeah.
Speak your truth, Craig.
Let it freeze.
I wrote this synopsis at the time of the episode intending that I would read it because you didn't want to read it last time you were here. And it's my week. And then, so it said my problematic favorite, Craig Manning. But I guess it fits. He seems to be your problematic fave too. Is that
I've got another
for your Degrassi so far?
I just honestly
sign you up.
So now that you told me the backstory, I am such a fan of the caricature of like misogyny in like shows because it's not even a caricature. That's just how like men are, but it's like presented as a caricature. And I don't know why. I just think it's so funny. It's like, this is a caricature of like how misogynistic men are. It's like, oh, that's actually how they really are. And I think it's hilarious because they try to present it, because they always try to present it in a way that's like tries to make you feel unrealistic. But it's like, oh no, that's just how things actually are. Like they try to gaslight you into like thinking like this is all like caricature, like how men really act.
Yeah, this is an isolated
y'all are out
incident.
Here being the absolute worst sometimes.
Maximum capacity for worseness. Okay.
I have 2 more shots. I don't know if anybody else does.
I have 2 more as well. Yes.
Go ahead.
I have Craig saying that rap is never leaving our garage. And then I have Liberty responding to Jimmy saying, "Oh, our singer is going to be here any second," and she says, "Well, it better be one of the next 60 on in 1 minute."
That was really good.
She had to drop in and like shit on him. I love Liberty so much.
Liberty,
she grows on you because she actually is always, she's thrown shade from the beginning. She is not split hairs since the very beginning, and she's growing into it now.
I love how sassy they make the black characters in this show.
I just love the
Like,
black characters and their sass.
it's really endearing. I love
If
it.
only they could get some storylines too.
Well, that weren't stereotypes, yeah.
So my last two are one, Angie telling Caitlin she hates her.
Yeah.
I hate you.
And then my last one is actually also a Liberty bonus, and it is I have you down as a rock quartet. Should I downgrade to a power trio?
I almost put that
Liberty.
one.
So I'm glad you didn't.
I know, I'm glad I did too. I think it's, oh my gosh, she pops in for like a handful of like 2 lines, essentially 2 lines, and she kills them.
Yeah.
Comedic timing. Yeah.
Oh,
This was a good one for shots fired.
it was a good one for shots
It really
fired.
was.
This is what I tried to drop in the deep dive because I couldn't find my note for this and I forgot that I made it a shots fired. But I am still going to fire a shot at Ashley for being able to use the word agony in a song again with a straight face.
What
Gives
song
me
did
agony.
she use agony in? Before?
Agony, ending, or something like that.
I don't remember that one, but
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
God, that is. So I went to high school with a girl who was like an aspiring musician, like really trying to be a musician.
Mhm.
And Ashley just matches her to a T. Like with all like the stuff you're telling me about like the other songs she's written, how it's just like the worst lyrics. But as a musician, I do have to say, you gotta be bad before you can be good. Like I am glad I've lost some notebooks with lyrics over the years because they are
Right, and
bad.
let's keep in mind she is 15.
She's 15 and she's but for me she's peaking, you know? She's not
Yeah.
she's peaking. There's one other song that she has in universe that because then supposedly she gets big in Europe. We have no proof of that. There's no tangible proof. I've heard nothing after Tell Me Lies is like the last song that she's gonna sing in
This
the
was
universe.
it.
This
She
is
became
it for me. Yeah, no.
Then
Yeah.
Euro dance after that.
Do you want to know what she wanted to name her first? It wasn't really a band, it was just her and Terry. Was Two Girls and a Keyboard.
She really did.
And
she
then,
really
yeah,
did.
we should tell you the progression of To Hell Hath No Fury. So it started just Ashley and Terry, and it was Two Girls and a Keyboard. And then it became Three Girls and a Keyboard when Paige joined it, so they couldn't agree on that name. So Paige suggested Paige, Michael, Chuck, and the Sextons, which they then shortened to PMS. And they were PMS for a while. They added Hazel to the band as well. Then Terry's in a coma, so now they're Hell Hath No Fury, and Ellie gets to be there.
Ellie gets to be there playing the guitar that she will canonically go on to not play after
Ever
this.
again.
Ever again.
She might carry
So-
it as an accessory,
I'll have to hear is a good band there.
right?
It really
Like,
is.
I
It
feel
really
like
is.
there's something there if they stop playing like cookie cutter punk. Like
Yes.
turn into a metal band. Turk Sprayman. Like let's
Y'all
really
got
do
you
this.
know you got some anger in there.
Yeah.
I really don't think do they even do anything after this? This is it for Health Hath No Fury, right?
I remember at some point Ellie at least tries to get the band back together, and it might happen.
Yes. But that's when
yeah,
she joins
it's-
Downtown Sasquatch and they're over it.
Oh, right. Instead, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
she
this is it for Hell Hath No
right there.
Fury.
You were never really in the band. I love it. I'm so excited for the future. This show is so fucking rude sometimes.
So fucking rude.
Like we're not friends anymore. Sorry.
Okay, slut.
Right, we did the slow walk down the hallway together. We are friends, bitch. Like,
Yeah, I love it.
We
love
are
the slow
supposed to
walk
be
down the
friends.
hallway
right.
With like a quartet of girls. It's got,
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes,
a good time.
I do too.
So
Plentiful
don't
shots
really-
fired.
yeah, no, so Shining Stars and Super Bummers. I don't feel like anybody really shined. I don't feel like anybody like super bummed me out. Ashley and Craig bummed me out. Joey and Kate bummed
Ashen,
me out.
yes. The 4 main players carrying these plots. Yeah.
But it's just kind of like their existence is bumming me out. Like they're not, it's not like when Spinner was really nasty homophobic. Like, it's just kind of like you're exhausting to be around.
I agree with that. I think that that's pretty.
Right. I have four super bummers.
Okay.
Oh, okay. 4 additional super bummers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Joey, just everything about him, yells at his daughter for dropping the eggs. Like, this kid, they drop eggs. Looks like a pianist. So, next super bummer is the computer teacher who threatens extra homework. Like, they were spilling some good tea, and you're just gonna ruin that for us?
He's
super
just
bummer.
come off of chemo. He's a little like.
Yeah, he's definitely better
Does
than
everyone
he
have a
was.
fucking backstory from?
Yes.
Jesus
Snake
Christ.
is also from Snake and Joey were best friends in the older
understand
show.
why that's so weird to you. Like, this is a show that exists outside of the 2 episodes you have seen.
Oh
We
shit!
are
I get
in
that.
the 3rd season.
What? Literally, you have like computer teacher has a backstory? Like, oh, come on. I think you're fucking with me now.
Yeah, because he's from the original Degrassi. He's Emma's stepdad. He's the media immersion teacher. Like,
that's crazy. Well, 3rd super bummer is the bitch ass kid. That's what I wrote. Bitch ass kid.
Angie, all right. I'm not gonna dispute that. She kind of deserves it. She kind of bummed me the fuck out. Yeah.
The 4th one is very specific to the Battle of the Band scene, but Spinner just bums me out with everything about it. He was
committing drummer atrocities.
Yeah, and also too, he's like, "Oh, this song doesn't have an end yet."
Woo!
And just big buzzkill, and I can tell Drake wasn't
in the key of
either.
rock.
But Drake was like side-eyeing, and like I understand it because
he was just there after they got the lyrics, and not even after that. He was there after the rap. Like, he was just cruising through the episode after that rap. He was not. There were no stakes for Jimmy. He was just along for the fucking ride. After that point,
Wait, those are my bummers. The computer teacher really bummed me out.
Because
they were getting catty. Like, they were getting catty. It was a good scene.
Chris, is if you didn't watch episodes of Degrassi in a vacuum, you wouldn't need them to spill the tea.
Okay, well, then this wouldn't be as fun.
Probably not.
Probably not, no.
Probably not. Gotta have some kind of gimmick to watch this for not nostalgia. And
I love having you come in and be like, wait, those people aren't siblings.
That's the highlight of this for me, is like, you picked up on, and I don't even know if that's like consciously why I didn't like Joey and Caitlin, but it definitely adds to it for me why they never were good. Like, I just don't care about them. They don't have any like chemistry to me.
That's crazy. I really thought they were brother and sister.
The show wants them to be these star-crossed lovers, and
does anybody have a shining star?
I want you to see this.
Oh. Stars. No one. No.
Will you send
but
me
that's
a
not a
picture of
diss,
that
though.
for the socials, Chris?
Yeah, but that's not a diss, though. I actually think that everyone brought something in their own way to this, and this wasn't a let one person carry the show type of thing. It was everyone was contributing for the greater good.
Right. Yeah, definitely. There was. Yeah, I will agree with that. There just wasn't enough of. There were just too many extremes, because fucking Craig and Ashley spend the whole episode at each other's throats, so they've got to be. Everybody's got to kind of fall slightly askew of that.
I feel like if I had to name a shining star, I'm gonna give it to Quan for how gracefully she handled Ashley's poem.
She just held her tongue. She was like, well, why don't we hold off on discussion until we've heard more, huh? Yeah. That what the fuck was that? But you see her face like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, everyone wanted to be
Ashley,
what the fuck
why?
Was that?
She's like, Ashley, why? Why do you just get up and do this? And then you were the first one. And
You've been hanging around Ellie too much.
Oh my gosh. At least Ellie told her the truth. But like, you'd be a shitty person if you didn't tell her the truth.
Right.
The truth is so obvious. Paige would have told her if not. But yeah,
So
it's
I,
no
I will
one.
say, I think the juxtaposition again, I'm probably the second show I've ever seen, but the juxtaposition of the battle of the bands against Joey and Caitlyn is
Mhm.
such a weird. It felt like they should have chosen another B plot.
Oh yeah, you're gonna feel when you come. I think we'll make this a thing. When you come back and watch other episodes in season 4, you'll just notice that's just a thing. That's just a
It's
thing.
hit or
Well, they do.
miss. It's
I
hit
mean,
or miss.
complimentary
Sometimes they
B
complement
plots.
each other well.
Right. Sometimes they do. I feel like it just a lot of them don't. Though I would not. I would expect about half and half of
Yeah.
of that. There's
Really
rarely
interesting.
like an in between. Like, oh no, it's like either they complement each other. There was thought in this to kind of like there's a first season episode where one character is struggling from an eating disorder and another character is having body image issues in the A and B plots, and those were very complementary episode B plots for the episode. But then you have shit like this that is just like, well, you just kind of you were throwing darts at the wall for B plots.
I kept looking for like what they were.
The tie-in.
Yeah, the tie-in. And that's their game. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's not always going to be a tie-in. Sometimes it's Paige has been sexually assaulted, and Creepy Toby and his best friend are fighting because they're sharing a locker.
Or sometimes it's a school shooting,
Also
and then Joey sells his house. Yeah, Degrassi. It does.
There?
It does go there. Where there is debatable,
Well, I mean, so that begs the question.
Right.
Does it go there?
No. Not this
Interesting.
week.
We literally had partner violence last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I missed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terry's Nicola.
Yeah, right. As a result, Terry is now in a even though her cheeks are rosy red,
So
She
and she could wake up
minute.
any day now.
I guess if that's the criteria, then yeah, it didn't go there.
Wait, were you coming into this feeling like it had gone there?
I thought that there was a pretty believable summation of teenage romance.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I think that
Yeah.
they
And if
yeah
that's your criteria, then which I guess it would be.
would yeah right
I'm
for
sorry,
for
I'm
the amount
speaking
of
my truth,
episodes you've
like,
taken
Craig
in.
has inspired me too.
And that's fine. I do say that their back and forth, like their arguing is very much the show being taken up another level. They're back and forth and be like, oh, you can have sex with it. Like it's like how adults would argue, exes would argue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adult exes. So I get that. They definitely were not that level of relationship. The way they're
So,
arguing, it's like y'all
it's-
were not that deep.
I'm actually glad that Caroline invited me to do this one. You pegged me for this one because, like, I was definitely the emotional boy in high school who, whenever I felt like I was wronged, I would write a song about it. And
I know
Okay.
the type.
yeah,
As
Gotcha.
somebody who doesn't write music but definitely does write, and
Mhm.
did so when I was a quirky, emotional teenager, I know that there's like at least one line, Chris, that sometimes like pops into your head, make grocery store. It makes you feel so ashamed. Like give us one of your pregnant.
I put
vanity
pen to paper
lyrics.
on.
there's multiple.
Just give us one.
Uh,
It doesn't even have to be like a
that-
really bad one.
Right.
Why?
so, yeah, I'm going to give you one that really makes me cringe. So let people it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I was working with a music producer one time, and I wrote a lyric in a song that was like not the greatest, and we kind of laughed about it. And I told him, "Oh, if you think that's bad, let me tell you this one." And I told him, he was like, "I would take that to my grave."
Oh,
But
fine.
I was 19, and this girl had just cheated on me, and I wrote like a song that was like, and one of the standout lyrics that I built the song around was like the chorus that the lyrics were teenage romance, teenage romance. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, take off your pants.
There's that. Oh my gosh! Yeah, don't.
Here's the thing. This one makes it worse. Is like I actually turned into like a really good lyricist at the time, and that is something that came out of me.
Whoa!
But the way that that's very catchy and also so shameful.
Oh, it's so, if I were to sing it for you, like God, that's fucking catchy. And
I'm already mentally singing it because of your voice, how you said it. So I'm like,
In an alternative life, I was a scumbag who released that song on TikTok, and people are like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Oh my God!
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. The timeline is not line. It does not support this.
So shout out to Danielle for hurting me so badly I turned into a horrible lyricist.
Thank you, Danielle, for that little
Thank
jab.
you, right. Without you, we would not have that gem in this world.
Oh,
I've told like 5 people that because I've been so ashamed.
Well, now
of it.
you've told at least like 15.
I just carry that burden on me at all times.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Chris.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's
He's just
that's a cringer. That's a cringer.
That's all.
It's fine.
That's why the producer said I'm going to take that to my grave.
Yeah, looking out for you. You know.
Do you want us?
God, and it's right. It's funny because I remember sitting in my I wrote that song before work in the back of my Honda Accord with an acoustic guitar. And I was playing it. And I was singing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to get to the studio. This is it.
Sorry. You're like, yeah, this is gold.
This is where this is my big moment.
It just pours out of me and it's magic.
Oh God.
I need to record this shit. Oh. Great. Thank you for sharing that so much. Woo.
Sorry.
Don't. Yeah, no sorry if necessary.
It was probably my 13th reason, so.
Oh.
Everything can't be yours that you.
Part deux.
No, I'm sure we've got a better title in.
There is a better title in here. Yes.
Not that title wasn't also like.
No, that was a good title. That was really good.
I was so proud of the fried chicken photo. I don't figure out which photo I'm doing this time.
Fried chicken photo is cute. I like how you started putting. I like how it was. Chris was the first guest to be sitting at the tables with us. Like, okay, now this is a thing. I love it.
It's a good thing. I like it.
It's really cute. It saves us from having to animate everybody while still because we're the only people that are the only pastas and Shane and Charlie and Dylan's are floating around. But yeah, I love it.
On that note, do you want to bring us on out here? Did you have anything more to say, Fres?
No, I exhausted all of my notes, and I
do want to say again sometime.
Yeah, I was about to say I very much enjoy this. Also, too, you guys have been great at picking episodes that really interest me.
Okay.
When Caroline said that for Rock and Roll High School, I was like, yeah, that'll be good.
I'm super into music and chicks cutting, so this is right up my alley.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're a great guest. You spark a lot of conversation, and it's a great time to have you on.
It's very, very fun. I appreciate you all. You're fun. You're great.
Appreciate you too. Yeah, come on back and we will give you some because it gets real.
Fans, if you hate this, please leave a comment on the socials that I can then show him on my phone and see his face fall as he reads it.
I do want to clarify. I do want to clarify something for people who don't know me, and Caroline could, I hopefully attest to this, is that, like, I promise you I'm not like this giant Craig fan. I'm just merely saying this for comedic effect.
Chris is like out here. Chris is out here busting his ass to make at least like our little corner of the world, our community, a better place in a lot of fucking ways.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you and what you bring to our podcast, what you bring to my community, and what you bring to like 6 to 8 hours of my week.
Yeah, it's an eventful 6 to 8 hours. I can say that much. I'm just glad to be. I'm just glad to be a strong male presence in your life who can help guide you.
Yeah, I really need that.
Without which presence you would be lost, surely.
Yeah,
probably.
and I'm just.
No, Chris, you literally, like, you saved my life. If I am the woman that I am today, it is because of you.
It's what I'm here for. What I'm here for.
You helped me see things in myself that until you saw them in me, I could not. So thank you, guys.
Well, guys, safety, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thanks again. I can't wait to be back on. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
You too. Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Your Mom's Podcast. Next week, we're talking about It's Raining Men, where Margot learns the homophobia is coming from inside the house. And JT respectfully asks that you not get up all in his fries, dog. I was hanging on for dear life with this.
This episode of Your Mom's Podcast was brought to you in part by Pearl Street Pizza, A Sunday Fire, and support from listeners like you.
If you'd like to further support our show, you can find us on TikTok and Facebook as Your Mom's Podcast. We also have a Facebook group of the same name. And you can find us on Instagram at YMPadcast. Your Mom's Podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscriptions and reviews are another great free way to support us. However, if you're interested in supporting us in not free ways, we have a lot of great bonus content on our Patreon, and some great merch at our shop, which can be found at your-moms-padcast-shop.fourthwall.com. And remember, that's Padcast. PAHDCAST. Thank you.
And now we would like to take a moment to thank our Patreon subscribers. Octavia Faith,
June Bard,
Margot Mancini, and a special thanks to our Titty Snake producer, Alyka Fenderson.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Ew, I hate how I said thank you. Thank you.